welcome to my channel for restorative yoga and restorative yoga therapeutics. Today I'd like to introduce you to 3 postures that are really beneficial for anxiety and stress reduction. These are 3 poses that you would find in my full hour-long video, and I'd like to introduce you just to this short sequence, and so you can feel the benefits of even what it's like to practice these 3 poses. And if you like the benefits and feel like you'd like to take a look further, you can check out the full video. So first off, I'd like to explain a little bit about how anxiety manifests in our body, because it's something that I think most people are not aware of. In other words, we're aware of the physiological symptoms that we start to feel when we're nervous or anxious, such as racy heart or difficulty in breathing, sweaty palms, that sort of thing, lightheadedness, dizziness. These are the kind of symptoms that people report. It's actually one of the reasons that the #1 visit to an ER is usually due to anxiety. And oftentimes people are sent away saying, no, don't worry, there's nothing physically wrong with you, it's just anxiety. But where that may be correct, that there's nothing physically wrong, the problem with that is that then people are sent away in not understanding what to do with the physical symptoms. So maybe they go and say, okay, let me get some help and talk to someone, but what they don't realize is that we have to also find a way to deal with that in our body and release that tension and stress through the body. So when I work with my clients, I like to work with both ends, both through the talk therapy door and then through what I call the embodied door, which is working with teaching people how to reduce this tension and stress on the physical level. So these poses that I'll be introducing you to are specifically meant to work with the areas of the body such as the spine, in working with that spinal manipulation in a way to calm and center your nervous system. So part of what happens in these poses, you'll find, is that your breath starts to regulate, which is a #1 anxiety reduction piece. Your heart rate slows down, and you find that all of a sudden you start to feel some ease in your body where you can let go and relax and rest. So sometimes you fall asleep in these poses, but more often than not, what happens is you just find that you go into a state of really deep relaxation, which is what we want to induce in the nervous system for stress reduction. Okay, so we're going to get started with the first pose, and I am using all yoga equipment, such as the yoga bolster and blocks and blankets. In my video, I do show you how to make equipment from home if you don't have this stuff at your side. Okay, so the first pose will require you to take your bolster, just like this, and 2 yoga blocks that you're going to place side by side, just like that. And then I like to use a blanket over the blocks like that, just to soften the blocks just a bit. Okay, so the proper setup for this pose is to sit with your feet on the ground to start, and you're going to come to lie back so that your shoulder blade is right on the block. Okay, so I'm resting my entire scapula or shoulder blade on the block, and then I'm letting my head and neck rest on the bolster. You can open your arms like this, and if you're comfortable, if your low back feels comfortable, you can open your legs like this. So when you first come into the pose, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And now I'd like you to take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose like this and out through your mouth. Call those release breaths. Take 2 more. Inhale, exhale, 1 more, exhale. And then just allow yourself to remain in the pose for about 10 minutes. So as you're in this pose, one of the things you may notice right away is how much easier it is to breathe. So when we're feeling anxious, remember I talked before that our breathing is irregular. It's not a natural breath that's happening when we're anxious. We get constricted in our chest muscles, and what happens as our body is in a sympathetic nervous system response is that our breathing gets irregular. So in this posture, part of what we're doing in relaxing the body is that we're also opening up the chest cavity here, opening up the muscles around the chest cavity. So all of a sudden we're in a deeper state of relaxation. So you may just find that your breath is more available to you. This posture is specific to make the breath more available and therefore take you into more breath regulation. So for the next pose, we're just going to simply remove the blanket, take your blocks aside, and we're going to turn the bolster this way and place one block on its low side underneath the bolster, just like that. So this next pose is called our restorative twist. So you're going to take one blanket, place it like that, take the other blanket like that, so that you have some support between your legs. I'm sitting with my hip very close to the bolster. I'm going to lift my arms overhead like this, and I'm going to turn as much as I can to face the bolster. Let your hands come down on either side, and then come on down. So see, I'm turning my chest toward the bolster. I'm going to come down and then turn my head to the same side as my knees to rest. And go ahead again, and this pose you're going to be doing two sides. So you're going to start with your right side, close your eyes, and remain here for about 5 minutes. And then when you're done, you're going to turn to the other side. So in this posture, we are working once again with the spine, this time into its rotation, which again is very beneficial for the soothing qualities and calming effects in the body and the nervous system. So after you've been here for about a minute or two, once again taking a couple of those deep breaths, see what it's like to just press your hands down a little bit more, turn your chest a little bit more, and come down again. That'll help to gain just a little bit more access into the twist. Inhale, turn your chin center, press your hands into the ground, very slowly and gently come up, and then you're going to keep the blankets in between your legs and just go ahead and turn, facing now your left hip to the bolster. And once again, inhale the arms up first, turn, hands come down, turn again a little bit more, face the chest toward the bolster, come down, and the head remains the same side as the knees. So to transition into our last pose, simply remove the blankets from in between your legs. Take the bolster, remove the block. So take the bolster so that it's toward the end of your mat, so that you can take your knees over the bolster, just like that. And the other thing we're going to do is take one of the blankets and open it. Now this blanket is folded like this. If you want to know how to properly fold the blanket, you can watch my other little video on that. But it's folded like that. You're going to come on down, just like this. And you're going to make sure that this little rounded part is supporting your neck. And what I like to do here is just tuck this part under, all around your head. It makes for a really wonderful relaxation. So you could go ahead and do that. And then I like to take my other blanket and place it across my belly and hips, just like that. You can take your arms down at your side. You can keep your palms open if you wish, or you can turn them down, whatever feels more comfortable in your shoulders. See if you can relax into the lower back with the bolster underneath the knees. That helps your lower back to ground. So just see what it's like now to simply rest in this. And this pose you can stay in anywhere from 10, 15, even 20 minutes. Again, start it off by taking a nice deep breath, closing your eyes. Exhale through your mouth. And at the end of the sequence, it's a perfect ending to our little sequence for anxiety and stress reduction. So with your next breath, you can go ahead and remove the blanket. Begin to open your eyes, draw your knees in. Just give a little hug in with the knees for a moment. And then take your time and simply roll to one side And stay. Don't get up quickly. Your body's just been at rest, so you want to stay with your eyes closed. And then when you feel ready, press your hands and guide your way back up to sitting. And just stay for a moment, eyes closed. Once again, when we're talking about anything having to do with anxiety and stress reduction, we want to make sure that these moments that we feel at ease, that we hold on to them. We just know what that experience feels like. And if we transition too quickly out of that experience, we won't be able to gather what that sense feels like. So I hope you enjoyed this little sequence for anxiety and stress reduction. If that made you feel really relaxed, you may want to check out, like I said, the full video, which is a little bit over an hour-long practice and has 2 meditations as well. And again, you can check that out on my website, which is www.embodied, EMBODIED, life, LIFE.com. Thanks.